Hello, this is Alekius, and welcome back to another episode of Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts as the French in June of 1941 in our inevitable conquest to rule the seven seas. Taking care of this submarine off of Brazil successfully. 4 British subs harassing us in the Caribbean sank one of our destroyers. How dare. 4 of our destroyers of the Marocaine class, a little bit older, against a Roxburgh cruiser. That's going to be a tough fight if we don't want to take any losses. Aggressive enough with a cross drop of torpedoes, and I think we are pretty much guaranteed to take them out. And here we are, having spotted the British cruiser at 18.5 kilometers. Weather is actually decent. We're on an intercept course right now. We split up into 2 groups of 2. I'm going to try to go port and starboard down the line. They've spotted us and decided to run. Because they launched torpedoes. We're going to switch to high explosive, even if that puts us out of range, because our guns aren't going to do anything to this. Although, is this the one with weak armor? Maybe it would do something. Torpedoes are slewed forward. I'll turn them off for now. Appear to be after our port line. They're wisely running, as that'll extend the amount of time needed to make our approach. Oh. It looks like she's turned about. Wants to close in. Let's go ahead and cut her off. We'll see if we can get both sets of torpedoes going. A little bit far. There's one set. Tremontaine. Possibly setting up another. Let's take a look. Yeah, our guns aren't going to do anything to that armor. Off. Let's close. Tremontaine has not launched. Looks like she's going pretty slow at this point. Let's go ahead and break these up. Somali leading in. Torpedo detonation, outstanding. Try to get her bracketed. Bring the Somali around on her starboard side. Mangini looking to overtake on her port. She's still turning, but I'd like to wait for Somali to get into a better position. I think that's good, actually. She did her drop. Now we just have to wait. She's making her turn. And now Mangini can do her drop. Oh, she's got a bit to slew. Turn it off. We're losing the angle. Somali can join the other group. Don't want to get too close, but it's a welcome distraction for the cruiser's guns. She's making her turn. Let's come back left. She's turning too much. It really depends on if she decides to... There it is. That's what we wanted to see. Come back right. We've already lost angle again. And not going to fire due to friendlies in the zone. Keep them on our starboard side. Wait for her to reposition. To lure will be fine. It's not bad at all. At 1.5 kilometers. I really don't want to flip sides. Alright, let's see if we can snag this as we maneuver. Oh, looks like she might be turning away. She is. Be nice to pre-aim the torpedo launcher, but hold fire. Oh, that's going to be a bad day. Cut inside, see if we can pass behind it. Unsuccessfully, but we got it to go dud. Ooh, bad hit. Alright. Angle's poor, but we gotta get it out. As we're starting to take too many hits for the Mangini. Alright. Get the torpedoes out. ASAP. She's going down. Alright, so we're gonna have to wait. We'll pepper them with gunfire, and actually we're gonna have smoke here shortly. Let's go ahead and break up the group. Second will be Tramontane. And then Somali taking up the rear. Tirlure can drop smoke. And we'll accelerate time as we fiddle around behind our smoke screen as best we can. Man, taking a lot of hits. Well and truly on fire, though. We may take her out just with the gunfire. Heavy flooding did it. The torpedoes and then the impacts from the high explosive just hitting them again and again and again. One destroyer for one heavy cruiser? I'm okay with that. Then we have 3 implacable light cruisers against 2 Northamptons. These are our new ones, aren't they? Oh yeah, the gunships. High-speed gunships. This ought to be fun. Alright, here we are. First firing at 70 kilometers. Environmentals are fair. I believe we are in a stern chase. Took a while to catch up to him. Yep, sure is. Our HE go almost as fast. What kind of propellant are we using? Kept ballistic. HE shells. There we go. First hit. Seems like they've switched to HE, which seems appropriate given the enemy. We are already down to under 12 kilometers. Our torpedoes are good to 11 kilometers at 66 knots, which is almost triple their speed. Down to 10 kilometers. We have a choice between kind of shooting at them at range or trying to close into torpedo range. We do have some good accuracy. 9 kilometers, so we're at kind of a decision point at the moment. Oop, torpedoes. To a hard starboard. And then back to 5 degrees left rudder. Looks like it'll miss all of them, judging by the firing lines. What is their accuracy? Absolutely abysmal. They've got about 12 inches effective armor. We have all of our guns available to fire. Rudder amidships. Ride this out. Actually, why don't we split fire? We've opened up range, so let's close in Bridgeport, Scranton. This isn't even at ×3, I thought it was. Rudder midships, and we'll approach at the oblique. Look from here. Got 2 and 2. Yep, looks appropriate. Sitting at 10 kilometers. They have a lot of ammunition. And no hope of hitting us. Except for a fluke. And we'll run our midships here. I believe that leaves us with 5 turrets able to engage. Getting steady hits, but being high explosive, they're not going to do major damage. Imagine they're not doing well though. Damage and stability 27% and 22%, so splitting fire is doing the job. We see torpedoes, so we'll take a sharper turn. And amidships there. Still under 10 kilometers, still engaged with 5 turrets. clear by the bow. Okay, now that we've degraded their gunfire a little bit, let's keep coming in. Let's see if we can get down to under 9 kilometers. Alright, that definitely disengaged the 5th turret. Lots of fires. Nine kilometers, 15% accuracy. Their accuracy is below 1%. So I'd say we are in good shape. We do have 2 sets of torpedoes. We could try to just disrupt their formation, but I'm inclined to wait, as they only have 11 kilometers of range. So to safely be able to bridge that gap, I would want it to be under 7 kilometers for a launch. Alright, I'm going to bring us in again, as we've increased to 9 kilometers again. And down to 8.5 already. Getting a lot of torpedo detonations on them. I don't have a lot of torpedoes left. Their accuracy is still sub 1%. Full damage instability. Under 8 kilometers. We'll go ahead and toss out some torpedoes. We have the starboard side to follow up with. Loosen up the formation. That'll make the torpedoes more staggered, if and when they do launch. Let's just go with normal. We don't need to spread out quite that much. We want to stay closer for the gunnery. Torpedoes, I want better cross angles, but there'll be staggered launches and staggered launches. How are they doing? They're looking beat up. A lot of surface hits. 10k damage. Couple overbends. Couple penetrations. Nothing too remarkable though. We are down to 7.5 kilometers. Dipping in again. What is their accuracy looking like as we steady up? Pretty sure they'll be above 1%, which I will not be too happy with, as the torpedoes. Come left, 10 degrees. see if that lands us in a good position. Oh, they're turning about. A little uncomfortably close to that torpedo. Then we'll turn back out, see if we can get a launch to disrupt their formation since they decide to turn. They're quite close at 5 kilometers. Get the smoke generators going. There goes one launch. Captain decided armor piercing might be better at this range. Let's tighten up the formation again. Make sure... Oh, that's going to be close. Alright, we are clear. No worries from the destroyers. Or, I mean the torpedoes. Let's force the high explosives. We'll tap out our high explosive rounds. And when we are out, we will switch to armor piercing. We've got had quite a bit of fire going. We do have penetrating hits. Their accuracy is pretty poor. They are fresh out of torpedoes. Not low on ammo like we are. They're sitting at 6 kilometers. Two of the cruisers have not fired their torpedoes. Give them another chance to do so. We have 3.5 minutes left of smoke. Alright, I see flooding on Bridgeport. So I'm going to lay into it with all 4 ships. Couple hits now, 1%. Sheer quantity of fire. I've managed 3 hits so far. Four. Well, looks like we jammed one of the turrets. Sitting at 4 kilometers now. There we go. Bridgeport down. Overwhelming, uncontrolled fire. She looks to be cooking. See it from here. Oh yeah, that's toasty. Looks pretty toasty too. veritable hail of fire. Nothing but ricochets and explosions. Damage to the engine. She's getting the fires under control for a moment. We are nearly out of high explosive shells. We'll go ahead and we'll keep turning and launch more torpedoes as our smoke generators are about out. And we'll engage closely on the starboard side. Oh. We're waiting for those torpedoes. And there's the turn. Hopefully that was just the one launcher and we can get the other one engaged from closer at a better angle. But she is turning away. 3-inch are nearly out of high explosive shells. Dud torpedo from the oblique angle. The torpedo launcher is jammed. And extensive fire flamed them both out. Alright, excellent victory, and then we have 3 Terry-class destroyers, 34.5 knots against our Esperance de Deux. That is gonna be like shooting fish in a barrel. First shots fired at a blistering 21 kilometers away, just max for the armor piercing. Poking holes in the tin can. Pretty certain this is a stern chase. Ooh, hit already. With a follow-up. I was not expecting that. What's the accuracy on these? Hyper veterans. Yeah, that is shockingly accurate through smoke. We see first rounds headed for the remaining destroyer. Overshoot. off on angle or bearing. Yeah, off to starboard again. Range is good though. Make sure we're not running into any sinking ships. I'm interested in this shell right here. Ricochet. Looks like we have two more. Ships have finally found the range. 2 hits straight through the engine room. That main belt will repent, as well as the aft belt. So that should be a lot of flooding. She's DIW now. Or nearly. I think the next salvo might finish her off. And just to watch the Esperanza to-dos in action. That's 3 destroyers down. And it looks like we have a cruiser action coming up. Bunch of Victor Hugos. Events of Roxburgh, a Carlisle, and a Brisk. Ooh, those are very different from each other. And a North Star. Okay, I think we'll have to wait for next episode for that one. So, I thank you for joining me. Appreciate you staying to the end. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And I will see you all next time. Take care, everyone.